it's easy to get focused on a lot of other things other than what you're doing.
Hello and welcome to the Stand Up Dude podcast. We are here today joined with a special guest. But first, Tim, how are you?
Oh, man, I got whiplash right there.
I know. I played a fast one on you.
I'm doing great. Thank you, Stewart. Thank you.
Hey, I wanted you to actually intro this guest here, and because I think that it just works better that way.
Okay, I like that. You're right. There's invested interest over here.
Yeah.
Although I got some invested interest because she's amazing. So this is Alycia White, Stewart White's wife. And we are so pleased to have her. And some of the guys that maybe listen are like, what do you, a lady? Like, yes, because we want to be here for you. Because I know none of you guys got all the answers about women. You're either single, you're married, or you're somewhere in between, and you've probably made so many mistakes along the way. You've messed up. You didn't understand. I said this. I meant that. Alicia's gonna dive in, give us some tools, and we were talking as we were warming up, talking about giving you guys some keys to the locks. But then we discovered, well, women got lots of locks, lots of them in a good sense. And so we're going to have a lot of keys to offer you. And we're glad that you're here. And thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Creative, sweet, insightful, hardworking young lady here, young woman.
Brilliant, beautiful, lovely, intelligent.
Stop.
Yeah,
she's a mama as well, and got some great kids, cool kids. So glad you guys are here.
Well, so Tim, as you were kind of hinting at there, our big idea here is solving some of the problems that men have when it comes to their relationship with women. What is it that you run into the most? What are the mysteries that you can't seem to solve, the problems you keep butting up into again and again? And as you also said, every woman is going to be a little bit different, but there are things that hold fairly universal across the spectrum of just human beings in general. But women specifically have particular traits and characteristics that they're universally going to find in men appealing or offensive or any of those things. So we wanted to get your insight on those things,
please,
and find out, help us unlock the mysteries that are women. Go.
Okay, let's do. Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. I love what you guys are doing on this podcast. It's really, it's meeting needs, it's answering questions, it's covering important topics. So I appreciate and am humbled to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good. Great show. Okay, we're done.
Excellent job.
Okay, so I want to jump right into this and start off with what do women wish men understood about them? Because unfortunately, as a man, I hate to admit it, I'm an idiot, and I think I know things, and then I'm like, wait, what? And I know, married to you, I've had that too many times to count. So I want to ask you, what are kind of the top things that women wish men understood about them emotionally, spiritually, just as a creature that is different than them?
The very first thing that came to my mind, and I don't want to speak for all women, but I do think I can speak for most women, or at least most healthy women, or mostly healthy women. Women want to be pursued. They want to be sought after. I think men often say like, well, I just never know. I can't figure you out, or I don't know when to pursue you and when not to pursue you. And I feel like I pursue you and you push me away. And I'm just saying things Stu has told me.
Yeah.
So
this is from personal
This isn't
experience.
from all the husbands I've been asking.
General population.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know for me, there are times where my brain, I have so much going on. I have so much I'm thinking and I'm feeling, and I just need to be asked a question. I just need to be pursued because it feels like I'm carrying so much, and I don't want to necessarily be a burden by unloading my thoughts and feelings. But sometimes I just need that question of like,
it's almost giving you permission, hey, give it to me.
Yeah, I think women want men to be curious.
What's so funny is I speaking as a man, I know we are, but we aren't always curious to the point of asking an actual question, which leads to more confusion. It's a curiosity of confusion than it is a curiosity of trying to grow and learn. And I still wrestle with that, as you can attest. But I do know that when I have pursued you, when I have asked questions, and I want to add to that, you can tell me if I'm wrong here. This has been a difficult thing to learn, but asking questions to ask them and not to solve the problem necessarily, which as guys, we're like, what do you mean you don't want to solve the problem? You know, let me just solve the problem for you. That's not it, guys. That's not most of the time. I've heard of guys that ask, is this a time where you want me to ask questions or do you want me to solve the problem?
You show women value by showing interest in and caring about what they think and feel, and you're placing value on the inside, the emotional part of it. And I think most people have heard like there's an emotional piece. Women want to emotionally, men want to physically connect, women want to emotionally connect. Women have a very hard time physically connecting unless they have been emotionally connected with first.
Yeah.
So if you want a key to a kingdom right there, that's a pretty important one. Like actually seek to understand, because if you're not asking questions about what she thinks and what she feels about something, but you expect her to want to be physically intimate, that just makes her feel used.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, he just cares about me for what I can do for him and not about what I actually think or feel about things.
Okay. So when you said that women like to have questions asked of them, would that be because when you get to answer, first of all, he initiated something other than a task list? I'm really bad at task lists.
Yeah.
And so when he asks you a question like that, then that's like a little half step forward. I think the bigger step, is this true? Please correct me. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to learn as well. That when you're asked a question, the real key is in many ways has not a lot to do with your answer. Is he listening? Does he feel me? Did he ask this just to check a box so he can be physical? Or is this because he actually feels me and wants to be and allow me to be seen?
Yeah.
Is it more of that? And I think there's some layers under there. I could go on, but is that at least the first real actual step forward when you're asked a question and then his response is not his words, but how he's receiving it?
Yeah. I think by asking a question to a woman and truly caring about what her answer is because you want to know, you desire after her, you desire not just the physical aspect, but the emotional aspect, she feels connected. So if you want to foster connection, then you need to know about where she's at emotionally, and you need to actually want to hear it, not just to check off a box.
Would it be safe to say it's not identical, but it's akin to when you're a little girl and you go to your dad and you want him to see you, you want him to notice you and to spend time. And when he does, it just fills your tank. You know, you feel joy, you feel cared for, you feel loved and seen. If men can get that now, that same kind of concept exists. It just is a much more serious one, maybe even. If we can get that, that's going to go very far in their relationship with their wife specifically is what we're talking about here too. Okay, so I want to move into that, the marriage side a little deeper here. And actually, first, starting off with the single men, because we've talked about marriage here, what advice would you give them then for preparing in a relationship? Because they may not, obviously, as a Christian, we're saying, hey, don't be doing certain things before you're married, save that for after. How can they still be practicing these things in a way that's still godly?
I love this question.
How can we be practicing what and be godly? I missed that.
Well, relating to your significant other in this situation.
Relating.
So, yeah, relating to a woman in a way where she feels seen, she feels heard, valued, and cherished.
Okay.
While also not crossing boundaries that should be there.
You also said something about preparing for that. So I want to answer that as well. I think there are ways that you can appropriately ask questions of your female friends, but would this be to like a girlfriend specifically, or just any woman?
Yeah. Well, I think it could go either way. It could be women that you're friends with, women that you have a romantic interest in, but maybe you haven't started a relationship with yet.
Yeah.
How can they be doing this in an appropriate way?
Yeah. Okay.
And growing in their relationship with this person?
I would say it starts with selflessness. The less you are concerned about yourself, and the more you are concerned about, well, this goes for all. This isn't just male-female relationships, but this goes for all relationships. If you can stop thinking about yourself, there's that line, like how to become the most interesting person in the room. Maybe it's a book. But the first question on the list is ask questions and actually seek to understand. So if you can stop thinking about yourself and what you want from a situation, like, I really want to get her attention. How do I get her attention? Oh, I should ask her questions and I should pretend like I want to know what the answer is. No, like, actually care about her and what is important to her, and stop thinking about what you will get out of the situation. And I think at the root of it is there's a selfishness that comes with, we have an expectation of relationships, men to women, women to men. We have an expectation of what can I get from this person and what will it do for me? Yeah. And I think if we can let that go and say, like, what value can I give to this relationship? Yeah. Whether it's a friend or a romantic interest, like, how can I bring value to them and help them feel connected and seen? So
I've heard an interesting picture of basically what we're talking about. Let's say you have two people in a car, and let's say they're trying to kind of get to know each other. Maybe it's their first time encounter. And one person, let's call it the driver, is talking, and the passenger asks a question, and the driver goes on and answers it. And just the lid comes off, not in a bad way, just goes and pours their heart out to this person for like 5 minutes without stopping. And the passenger says a few words, and they get out of the car and they get separated, and somebody says, "Hey, how was your ride? How was that ride there with Stewart?" And y'all just first met, right? Yeah. Gosh, he was awesome. I really loved that. I loved our time together. And all you did was pour your heart out, and that was it. It was just kind of, I've heard that this is a beautiful thing, that sometimes when people encounter you, to let them speak. And when they say, how was that when you met? Oh man, they were great. And they did nothing other than let them.
They just listened.
They held space for them, in essence.
It's a great lead in. I heard something recently from a gentleman, a friend. He's a Christian therapist, Phil Herndon, and he said, the best thing you can do for somebody when they're in a place of anxiety or trauma is to give them a voice. To not try to fix it, like you said in the beginning, but to give them a safe space to have a voice. And I think for women are carrying a lot. Like, men are too, but women have, depending on their season of life, they've got work, they've got kids, they've got the household, they've got cooking dinner and their friendships and their relationships and their families. And there's so much going on in a woman's brain that if she can have a safe place, if you can be a safe space for her to just have a voice and be able to communicate safely everything that she's thinking and feeling, then she will feel connected to you and she will feel seen. And women want to feel seen. They don't want to be alone, and they want to feel seen.
It seems so simple, and yet we blow that all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
As men, we're
definitely.
It's like, okay, be connected, feel seen. Oh, Okay.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
We go into the fix.
I know.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean,
It's a problem to be solved.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Men, that's a beautiful thing. If you're a fixer and you're a man, praise the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Good job. And keep fixing, keep standing. But when it comes with your relationships to women, if I may summarize, they just want you to stand for them. They want you to be seen. They want to be heard and not fixed. And man, is that anti-intuitive to us.
Mm-hmm.
If we get asked a question as a guy, we're put on the spot to fix it, aren't we? I mean, that's where I go. That's just what we do, and that's okay. But man, there's this piece when you're talking to the opposite sex, whether it's your sister or a friend that's a girl or a girlfriend or your wife or even your grandmother or your mom. They just want to express themselves. I know we've said that for the last 15 minutes, but it's like Stu said, it's just that simple. Mm-hmm. And man, it's kind of like riding in the car with the person that really just did all the talking, and they get out and they go, yeah, they were great. They were great. And they hardly said anything. And I think there's some good insight there, guys.
So something I wanted to hit to the single person, how can they stand out as somebody that is worth a woman's attention?
Oh, I have such a quick answer to this.
Yeah.
Have vision.
Ooh, really?
Yes. Know where you are going in life, and you will very easily find a woman who can get on board with that.
Yeah.
Going back to creation, God created a helper in a woman. I think most women have a piece in us that is meant to help. We want to help. And that's how God designed marriage to be. You know, he designed it to be a symbiotic relationship and it's an equal partnership, but the woman is a helper.
Helpmate.
A helpmate, yes. And so women want to help people that know where they're going. They want to help a guy that knows where he's going.
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
No, I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't know.
Interesting.
Like, I didn't know that's how she would answer that. So there's a scripture that goes with that very well. And it says, my people perish for lack of vision. Some say knowledge or whatever, but it's more like a vision, a lack of seeing or purpose. And I think what you're describing there is a man who has no vision. It's sort of like you're stumbling around blind. And I could see trying to put myself into the shoes of a woman going, I want to follow this guy around, but I don't anymore because he has no idea what he's doing, where he's going. So it's like competence, it's confidence, it's direction.
Yeah.
Those all follow.
What is attractive? I'll speak for myself, and women, especially women with strong personalities or leader, like there are a lot of leader type women. Leader women don't just want to lead, they also want to be led, because to lead is exhausting. When you lead all the time, you need to be able to go home and have a safe place to just know that if you don't lead for a minute, it's still going to go in a good direction. Yes. So if you are a man who has vision, direction, knows where he is going, and you know how to blend that with a woman who has vision and who is a helpmate, and you'll be a force that cannot be reckoned with.
Can't be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Which is also cannot.
Right. English gets me every time.
Yep.
So vision, direction, be the kind of man who can lead and also support a woman who also can lead.
Here's something thank you for, I like this. Something that I've seen is, we see it in churches often, where the men just shrink back, dial back, stop leading in essence. And guess who steps up? It's the women. And then we complain. Not cool. And so I think what happens is when men stop leading, then the feminine, they're super strong, by the way, incredibly strong, big time, is that they will put on what I sometimes call the male mask. because their desire is to be led. And if you're not going to lead, they're going to put it on. And then guess what, guys? If they're wearing the male mask, we're going to start acting, or they're going to see us as the little boy, and no woman wants to be married to a little boy. And so when you're leading, they feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but they feel secure. They feel more operative in their femininity, because now they don't have to wear the male mask. It's like one of those things. They can take it off and operate in their femininity and their beauty and feel secure. And guess what? When they're leading in their security, because Alicia's a leader, she can lead in that with security. When Stu is the leader of how God has built him and continues to step up, she finds freedom in there, and that's that symbiotic thing that was kind of described. So
I wish that I could say too that I have knocked that out of the park, and it's not true. I'm still barely scratching the surface, I think, on grasping this, and not just grasping. It's like I can mentally understand this. It's the putting it into practice every day. But I hope that maybe sharing that would give some guys out there hope, because it isn't easy. We're not saying it is. Conceptually, it might be, but you're dealing with people. You're not dealing with, bits and pieces in a program or something. So it's about your own heart and being willing to humble yourself and being willing to think of somebody else more than you, and to love somebody beyond your own life.
And I want to be clear too, that when I say vision, leadership, direction, take charge, when I say words like that, I don't mean like there's a version of this that I think men envision, and that is like the cosmetic, if that's the right term, like how it shows up. Like, I just need to talk firmly, and I need the superficial. And I'm just going to tell her what we're doing, and I'm just going to have a plan and tell her to get on board with it. That will not go over
See how well that goes.
Yes. So don't do that. It's that women want to see that you do have a vision and that you will consider their heart in it, consider what they say. And women, I want to be a part of a team. I don't want to be alone. And when I feel like we're not co-leading, or like when I'm tired, I can trust him that he's going to be able to take it, because women are going to do what needs to be done. Most women just see the gap. It's a gift. They see the gap and they say, no one's leading there, so I guess I'm going to do it. And that is a surefire way to lose respect. Men want respect, and women will respect a man who can lead.
And I want to share something to that, because I think it was this morning, you leaned over and you said to me, "Hey, you've been really helpful lately."
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh, thanks." I think I said something silly, because I always respond with funny things. But then as I thought about it, I was like, she knows that, but it's because there's probably a lot of times where I'm not. And it's both appreciated. Like, you recognized it, you gave that affirmation, which is something men do want. We want to be affirmed in what we're good at, and we want to be told, "Hey, good job, buddy," But on the other hand too, it reveals, like, you weren't doing a good job, Stu. You, like, oftentimes you're not helpful. And I know how that can be. Like, maybe a lot of guys are like me. You can get kind of single track mind. You're like, I just got to get this thing done, and I can't focus on anything else but the thing. And everybody around you is like, this is on fire. This is going crazy. The kids are going nuts. And you're like, well, I'm doing something important over here. So figure it out, And that's just not what we're supposed to be doing. Like, if I'm doing all of that, what's the point? What's the point of doing something to grow a business or anything if my marriage is falling apart, my kids are a mess?
Yeah, there you go.
This vision just popped into my mind, but I think it's helpful. I think life and family, and if you can picture that as like a carriage, and there are the two draft horses that are pulling the carriage forward. If one draft horse is just constantly thinking about their own stuff and what's going on in their mind and the job that they have to do, and they're just kind of, and the other draft horse is like, I feel like I'm always like pulling your weight. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking about your own thing, and I'm thinking about this weight that we're pulling. We're pulling it together, right? This is a team effort.
Yeah.
And so I think women just, when I say they don't want to feel alone, if you can picture that the cart is the thing that you're pulling and you're doing it together as a team, then are you both thinking of the other one and you're like, we are in this together. We are doing this together. We are pulling this weight together. And so when I said, like, that's how I felt this morning, recognizing you had been so helpful lately and I didn't feel like I was pulling the cart alone.
That's so good.
I felt like we were pulling it together.
Yeah. Well, it's encouraging. And on the other hand, it's like, oh man, the fact is I wasn't doing it before, but it's great. I'm like, hey, okay, keep doing more of that, more of that.
Yeah.
Women can do it too. This is not just like a men suck conversation.
Yeah.
You know, women can, that's
a very good point.
Yeah, two-way street.
Here's, speaking of, my dad was a pastor, very busy, 22,000 member church, wrote 40 books, was on all kind of boards. His approach from my mom, as she would notice his maybe twinkle in the eye. Let's just get down to the facts. She would always say that sex starts in the kitchen. What that means is, in this reference, when Alycia said you've been more helpful, so to be if you're married, or guys, if you're not, help clean the dishes after dinner, help wipe off the table, take out the trash, and don't be asked. But it's those little extra steps where they feel seen and understood and cared for. And I just hope that helps somebody. But I've been married 28 years, and I have found that when I'm doing those things around the house, and guess what? There are days where you will not be, almost always you won't be acknowledged per se when that happens.
So I'll add to that, because I think there's another word that you asked in the beginning, what can single men be doing to prepare for a relationship or to be the kind of man that is desired by a woman, along with vision and direction, I would say initiative. You said, don't wait to be asked to do something, just do it. Women do not want to have to ask men. We are already mothers. We don't want to mother our husbands.
Right.
That's
very unsexy.
no, we're like, nope.
Yep.
Well, whatever I was about to say wasn't going to work on camera. So I'm just going to move on. But if you are a man who can show initiative, that will make you so desirable to a woman, because they will know, I don't have to mother this guy. I can just be on his team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there are going to be times where that thing that attracts you also repels you. But that's okay. Like, we're not talking about you get this right and it's perfect. It's roses, because we know we're humans. Mm-hmm. We're broken and flawed and sinful and everything else. And so we're going to have times of selfishness. We're going to have times of, I did the thing right, but for the wrong motive. Mm-hmm. And all of that happens quite often. Mm-hmm. But it's about making that progress forward and doing it from the right heart. I wanted to lead into a question here about a man's relationship with God and how that affects his ability to lead his family and to lead his future and his wife and everybody else. How important do you think that is? And how can a man be growing his relationship with God? Like, do you put value on that actually as a woman?
Oh, yeah. I think that if we're talking about a healthy Christian relationship, where both spouses have a relationship with the Lord, I believe that if the wife has a strong relationship with the Lord and the husband has a strong relationship with the Lord, then they're going to be hearing from the same voice, which is going to put them on the same path. Mm-hmm. If the wife is listening to the voice of the Lord and is hearing from the Spirit and senses something and the husband is not, like the husband doesn't have a strong relationship with the Lord, then whose voice is he listening to?
Yeah.
He's either listening to his own voice, which is selfishness. It's going to get him in a lot of trouble, or he's listening to somebody else's voice that has his ear in the world. But either way, they're not going to be able to be on the same page because the voices aren't going to line up. So it's an equal thing, just as important for a woman to have a good relationship with the Lord as a man. But back to the leadership, the vision and direction part, where are you getting your vision?
Yeah.
Are you coming up with it on your own, or are you actually seeking the voice of the Lord?
Because there's probably a lot of men out there who could be like, my vision is that I'm going to get a van and I'm going to do whatever I want. And I'm going to go, to the bar every night. It's like, he's got drive. Yeah. I'm going to go live in a van down by the river. He's got drive, but it's not really toward anything. It's not with purpose. And so what I'm hearing you say is, it's so important to be plugged into the source of truth and the source of vision in life. And if you're not, it doesn't really matter what vision you have, because it's probably going to pale in comparison to what God's vision is for you.
And is it true that a woman would really like to know that her man is plugged into, as Stu has just described, in case maybe she is not, maybe she's too tired at that season of her life, but to knowing that there's a pillar in her home that is doing his darndest and putting the work in, and then that has to bring some true comfort to a woman's soul. Yeah,
absolutely. I think God is a holistic God. He cares about our mental, spiritual, physical, emotional health, all of it. So if you have a husband who takes initiative in their physical health and gets up and goes to the gym every morning at 5, and he's providing for the family, and he's trying to be a better person and working on his mental health, all of those things. But there's still the spiritual aspect of it. That's a part of our makeup. That's who we are. So if you're not putting any effort into the spiritual health, then there is a quarter of your being that is not being attended to. And I don't know how you could, we should be focused on all of those things.
I forget who was it? Some kind of inspirational guru type guy in the Christian sector, but he had this whole thing about your life being like a wheel. And if each section of it, you've got your faith, you've got your marriage, you've got your work, you've got your fitness, and each one, if it's neglected, it's like a flat tire. You want them to be balanced so that the wheel rolls and you're not boom, 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 going down the road going, what is that noise? I know that's very hard to do. Living a balanced life, living a disciplined life in that way is difficult. But as men, we know difficult things are the things we were made to do. Yeah. And from what I'm hearing you describe, it's this growing as a man in each of these areas. It doesn't mean that you've nailed them. You're not going to nail them until you're in heaven. You're not going to be perfect. It's an attitude of the heart, really. I know I need to go to the gym. And I definitely know I need to go to the gym. I know I need to be in the Word. I know I need to be spending time with godly men who build me up. I know I need to be pouring into my wife. All of those things, that attitude of my heart growing in that direction is so critical.
I wanted to add to that because it reminded me that women love men who do what they say they will do because it builds trust. And if you say, I know I need to do this and I know I need to do that, women take note of that and then they watch. Yeah. And so if you don't get up and go to the gym tomorrow morning, I'm going to look at you and say, he's not doing what he said. And I hate to use the trash analogy, but it's it always comes back to taking out the trash. It seems if
take out your trash.
She just wants you to take out the trash. You say you're going to take it out, take it out. It's a simple thing. Thankfully you have been
I'm very good at taking
about
out the trash.
Some language I think it's important around that is I have to take out the trash. I have to work out. I have to take the kids to school in the morning. Yeah. Is I get to work out. I get to take out the trash. I get to take the kids to school in the morning. It's helped me.
That's good.
the description of the wheel, it's not the first time I've thought this, because I've seen this wheel you spoke of.
Yeah.
I've seen
wheel
this
of which you have
spoke of. It sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
And I imagined like how a piece of pie is shaped, and it's all going towards that center axle, and you've got the workout, you've got the keeping care of the finances, you got the kids, you got the wife, you got the exercise, you got the time off, you got the scripture reading, you got the men's Bible study thing, you got oh my word, it sounds exhausting. Exhausting to be able to keep that wheel from getting flat on one side, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh. So here's what has been helpful to me is that there are seasons in our life. Now the off seasons are not excuses, they're just realistically, I'm 62 and there are seasons. I like to think of it, guys, if you're trying to get started, think of the wheel as this big. It doesn't have to be a tractor tire, this big. What are the things in there? Are there 3? Then do those. And there may be some times you're going to get clumps, but guess what? Continue that wheel spinning. You get back on there. So start with a smaller wheel, because it sounds exhausting, because the older you get and the more that life brings you and the challenges that are brought to you can actually be great gifts to you. They'll call you forward to that next season, these difficulties. But accept those and keep rolling, and don't be burdened. Don't be burdened. Do your 3 or 4 things well. I used to have 15. Now I've got like 4, and it's been helpful. Again. Then sometimes, it's okay. Let the little tire out of the air out of the tire. I personally have a very hard time doing that. I have a hard time resting. So to hear this wheel was exhausting just now. But there are times where you can let some little air out. It doesn't mean you let any of them go, but you're like, rest. I mean, think of the creator of the world, and then we'll move on. But think of the creator of the world. He took a day off. He doesn't need that, but he calls us to that. The Sabbath I'm getting way off, but the Sabbath is a new thing for me. I'm actually not working out on the Sabbath. I'm resting. I'm not working. Just those will help you to help that wheel you continue on the other days of the week. If you're spinning 7 days, not good. It's not the way we were designed. So
you're gonna wear yourself out.
Yeah, stay in the battle. Keep rolling is the best way I can put it. And watch your pie pieces that you put in there. Just do the ones you do real well.
I do want to ask you back to the singleness part for the guys who are single, dating or not, or looking to date. What encouragement can you give them that about their singleness, of how they can use that, and what are the next steps in their life, like to whether they pursue a woman or not?
This quote came to mind. I just thought of it, and I don't know who originally coined it, but it says, the reason why I'm successful and you're not is because we're both focused on what I'm doing. And it made me think of, for the single guy, I think it's easy to get focused on a lot of other things other than what you're doing. What are you doing? If you're doing the first thing, you've got your relationship with the Lord strong, and you're listening to the voice of truth, and you're focused on what He's called you to do, then everything will fall into alignment with that.
Yeah.
The other, who was it that said, love God and do whatever you want?
Yeah.
That sounds like Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart.
Yeah.
Love the Lord and do what you want.
Yeah. It was, I don't, maybe you're good with those.
I think it's John Calvin,
okay.
actually.
He said, love the Lord with your whole heart and do whatever you want. Because if that's what you're doing as a single guy, if you love the Lord with your whole heart and you're pursuing those desires that fall under alignment with what He's created you to be, then those other pieces are going to fall into place. But I think what it comes down to is, do you trust Him? Do you trust if you're a believer, if you're a Christian and you have a good relationship with the Lord, well, even if you don't, do you trust that he's going to take care of you if you are pressing into him? If he's giving you the vision, it's a faith thing. And so that scripture in Isaiah, I think, whether you turn to the right or to the left, you'll hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. And I think of that for a single guy. Like, there's a faith aspect that comes when you trust the Lord and you just say, I'm going. I'm not going to stand in one place. I'm not going to get lazy and complacent. I'm not going to wait for life to happen to me. I'm going to have vision, direction, goals, initiative. I know that I'm not going to do it right the whole time. I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm going to walk in it. Women will get on board with that.
I think there's something here I want to point out. You could probably find a bunch of podcasts, a bunch of shows on YouTube where a woman gets on and she talks about, like, I want him to have a six pack. I want, like, not that these are things you wouldn't want. I'm sure
they
you'd love it.
They do want you to have a six pack.
They do want you to have a six pack.
Really? For real? Come on, give us the insight.
I'm 38. I don't care anymore, but I mean, it'd be nice.
But six packs are not bad, eh? Okay.
Okay. Duly noted. But the bigger thing is all the things you have listed are the underpinning foundational elements of all the rest, fall into place. Hopefully, maybe you don't have a six pack. I don't know. But if you are a man who has vision, you have purpose, you're connected to your creator, you are living for something bigger than yourself. These are all things that a woman is going to take notice, and she's going to say, whether it's your wife or it's a girl that you are dating or it's a girl you're thinking of dating, you have to trust in faith. I'm going to pursue this and not worry so much about, do I have abs? Do I look good in the gym? All of these things are the things that you're shown on social media and everything to be a man worth having, but you lack substance, you lack depth. And what you're saying is get depth first and then get a six pack.
Yeah. Yeah. Or do it at the same time.
Yeah, why not both? Yeah.
Why not?
It's not an either or. Yeah. Okay.
It is. It's the character.
I just really am trying to get out of getting this six pack.
I know you are, but I'm not going to let you off the hook.
Hey, the insight evidently is diet, not as much.
Yeah.
It's not the sit-ups.
It's like 80% diet.
It's 80% diet. Yeah. I'm sure that's no revelation to anybody, but it's really, every time I've cut back, I end up getting a little bit of one without doing a single sit-up, which is kind of crazy.
What did you say your mom used to say to your dad? Sex starts in the kitchen.
Starts in the kitchen.
So do abs. You like that?
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah. Anyway, so when your wife or your guy's practicing, it would be your girlfriend. When a woman is emoting, okay, she's in essence unleashing in something that maybe her girlfriend said or three girlfriends are saying. It's just like or whatever scenario, she's emoting to her. Let's say to her husband, or for my wife to me. My wife emoted this morning about something that's going on with a couple of her friends and a neighbor. And my question is this: when a woman is emoting, my instinct, like we've already talked about, is to fix it. I feel like I could speak into it and go, well, and fix the matter. Yet, my question is this: when a woman is emoting, is it a little bit of a test of, look, I have a million feelings going on right now, and I've got to express them. I wonder if they're asking one or two questions. One is, am I safe to be able to do that right here? And if I break down, if I'm having a breakdown in this moment, in the future, this is maybe a little bit deeper, are you going to hold space for me? Am I going to be able to trust that you're going to still be here? Am I going to be able to know that you're going to stand if I see myself in the future with you, if I do this right now, Are you still going to be there? Can I do that? Can I do this right now in this space, knowing that you're still going to be holding space for me? Does that make any sense at all?
It does.
Okay, I hope so.
But I think
I'm wondering if it's almost like a test sometimes from a feminine heart, not from your head.
Yeah.
What happens when what are you wanting, do you think, when you do that? Women do that.
I think when most women are emoting like that, because the majority of women, not all, but the majority are verbal processors, they're trying to figure out what they actually do feel. And because verbally processing helps us just get it all out, when we hear it, we can kind of assess it. And it's hard. You can't just sit there and verbally process by yourself. So when you said a safe place, they do want a safe place. And generally their partner, their husband, their boyfriend, that's going to be the safest space that they have to be able to verbally process. So I think it's going back to what you said in the very beginning, like the passenger seat, being a safe place for a woman to be able to verbally process and ask her questions. If you ask her questions, you will help her. This is the spectrum of female emotion. Like, it's all up here. The more they get to talk about it and ask questions, and they are in the process of discovering what they actually feel about a situation. They don't actually feel all of these things that they're saying.
Right.
So
we think they are.
Yes. It's
they're not.
They're trying to figure out what that thing is that they do feel. So just be in that moment, flip the script, and be a helpmate for them. They help you with a lot of stuff. Be a helpmate for them, ask them questions, and just know that they're just trying to drill down to what it actually is that they're thinking and feeling.
You know what, for me, I got a short comment on that, but for me, when my wife is doing this and she's eventually working to here, my message after 28 years of marriage and being a pretty driven man, I immediately, the first thing I go to every time is, I don't have time for this. And my challenge to me and possibly to other men out there is that you do have time for this. What is possibly more important? Sure, your job, your vision, your deadlines, those are super important. But man, for us to be able to hold space to the woman that we said I do to, that it's the mother of our children, that's the keeper of the household in essence around our house. When she's needing you to be there, you do have time. And the older that I've gotten, the longer I've stayed married, the more I'm convinced that this is what they want, is our time, our attention, and for us to not listen with our heads, but to listen with our hearts and just hear them and not fix them.
I think that's where initiative comes back into, just to add to that, because everything you said was dead on, but they don't want to have to ask for it. They want you to pursue them. So don't just have the time, make the time. When, like, she does not want to tell you that she needs a date. She wants to know that you want to take her on a date.
Are you talking to me right now?
Yes.
Such a good word. Such a good word. Last night we went to a really nice event for a fundraiser in a very, very nice home. And my wife dressed up, and I dressed up, and we went. And we got home last night about 11 o'clock. And she said, "Oh, you didn't ask to take a picture." I'm like, oh man, really? Like, she wanted for me to have thought, not to fit to her. I said my comment, and it wasn't the best comment. I said, well, you could have asked. That was with my head, not with, I was hearing with my head, not my heart. And I went into a little self-protection mode when I should have said, I should have taken a picture because I thought you looked beautiful, and which was the true answer. But I didn't take that initiative to take that picture, and I think that's what you're alluding to is for men to take the initiative to do those things that a woman's heart is desiring without being asked.
Because it shows thoughtfulness. It shows
thoughtfulness. So we're
concern and care.
Yeah. Great. that we're literally thinking about them. Oh, my word.
Yep. Alycia, thank you for being on the show today. We've discussed marriage. We've discussed women and what they think of men and wish men knew. We've discussed things all over the spectrum here. But I wanted to give you the spotlight one last time to give one last piece of encouragement or advice to the men listening and watching. And what would you say to them if they are trying to take this in and process it and take it to heart?
I would say, I think a lot of men are either too hard on themselves or not, don't hold themselves to enough of a standard, too high of a standard or not enough of a standard. There's a beautiful middle that you can find. If the Lord doesn't even expect things of you, you shouldn't expect them of you. So you don't have to shoot for perfection. You don't shoot for perfection. You need Jesus for that. That's what you go to Jesus for.
Yeah.
But also, do not be lazy and complacent. Do not just think that life is going to happen to you. God put you on this earth. He has a purpose for you. Use your hand, get to work, and become the man that is deserving of the type of woman that you want. But give yourself some grace in the process.
Very nice.
Man, I couldn't have said it better myself, but I'll try.
Gift.
No, I'm kidding. That was so good.
But
Dave.
I'll try. Hold on. Give me a minute. It's just gift. Way to go. Thanks.
Yep.
Well, if you guys are watching, listening, and you want to learn more, you can reach out to us and email us, dudes@standupdude.com, or you can find us on any of our socials, which you can check the link in the show notes and be able to get to any of those. We would love to hear from you. We would love to support you. And also, you can go to our website at www.standupdude.com. And if you scroll down, there's a little button there that says Be More. If you are wanting to take that next step, maybe you're not a Christian, but you're curious, you want to learn more, click that. There's some resources there that I think will help you along your journey. Again, Alycia, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for taking the time. Tim, thank you for being the ever wonderful host and engaging and all the things.
All the things. Hey.
Great energy today.
Great energy.
Great energy.
Great energy.
This is for you. Bing, bing.
Thank you, guys. God bless. We'll see you next time.
Like a moth to a flame, so